Thank you, Alan. Next up on The Beat Goes On is our segment looking at wine, food and restaurants. Tonight we talk to sommelier John Ingle from Prohibition Restaurant. John is brought to the table for tasting 2 rosés, 1 Kiwi and 1 French. John Ingle, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you, Gerard.
Thank you for coming in today and filling in for Gabor Jaretsky. John, wine. You obviously know a lot about wine because you are, in fact, it's a French word meaning wine waiter.
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Yes.
What is a sommelier?
He's the person who works in conjunction with the maitre d', but tackles the wine issue and all the drink side. So in
a restaurant.
In a restaurant, of course. Yeah. And so responsible for the purchasing of wine and, of course, also for the compilation of a wine list. The point of sale at the table, that's his main purpose, to relate to the people. Sommelier at which restaurant in this wonderful Auckland city? For the last 18 months, in fact, since it was opened on Ponsonby Road, the new Prohibition Restaurant. The owners have put together a restaurant that takes you back in time to reflect the name Prohibition. So we go back 80 years in time.
Tell us a little bit of the history.
With pleasure. South African accountant, living in Russia, was motivated to put something he had seen into a big city in New Zealand.
Wow.
And he chose various sites in Auckland, but chose in the end this corner site, lovely majestic building in Ponsonby, 108, on the corner of Pollen and Ponsonby. And it took them 18 months to refurbish it, and that's what really has people spinning when they come in. The idea is to transport you into that era of 80 years ago.
Now there's that wonderful car outside, the old
yes,
car from the 1930s, and of course the doorman with the uniform.
Yes, the tuxedo.
The touch is just wonderful, and lovely music playing at night.
It will, every night.
Live music?
Every night there's live jazz, 2-3-piece, saxophone, double bass, pianist, and vocalist. Every night, part and parcel of the whole theme of moving you and getting you to feel that you have been transported off the street.
Wonderful, wonderful. You've selected 2 wines for the show this week. Why these 2 wines?
Myself, never been terribly passionate about what I've bought. Rosé.
Yeah.
It's a hard sell.
Is it?
It's even harder than selling Riesling. No, but there's been an explosion in sales and production of rosé in New Zealand. In fact, we're actually exporting quite a lot of rosé. The demand from the public to drink it has seen winemakers make better and better examples of it.
Rosé.
So what I've done today is I've bought an example from France. It's from Tavel, Southern Rhone. And we're going to look at it against a very enthusiastic rosé from a Pinotage grape. Very unusual.
But from New Zealand, you're
yes.
telling me. Wonderful.
Well, shall we try the New Zealand one first?
Yes,
all right.
Let's have a go at that.
Let's have a look, Jared. Screw cap, as they all are these days in New Zealand.
Beautiful colour.
Isn't that so subtle, that little pinkness there? It's the bleeding of the black grapes just for a short period of time. Just prior to fermentation, the skins of the black grapes are allowed to sit with the must, and for a crucial period that just allows the little bleeding of the colour.
Wow.
And then from thereafter, it's treated like the fermentation is treated as a white wine. This one here, an Auckland winery, Kumu, Jason Kerr and Wendy, make their wine, and they grow this on their own vineyard out there. And what's unique about this particular wine is that it's made from Pinotage. They make a Pinotage, one of the only people probably in New Zealand actually making straight Pinotage. Pinotage grapes that they use are sourced originally from South Africa, not the grapes, the vines they're bought in. A combination of a Pinot Noir and Cinsault, 2 classic grape varieties. Not a blend. This is where the 2 have been brought together to form a new style of vine called Pinotage.
Wow.
So let's have a look. You're going to get those lovely strawberry, watermelon, rose petal even.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Real delicate on the nose there, but rose petal. Do taste.
Let's have a taste. Oh, beautiful, isn't it?
Light.
Beautiful.
Flavoursome. Clean, crisp. No, that to me is a beautiful wine to drink any time of the day. It's not perhaps weighty enough to always put with food. This is a wine to have where we would want to have rosé outside on the deck during the day, particularly at lunchtime. Beautiful wine.
You're right. Now, that's our New Zealand one, rosé. Let's have a look at our rosé from France.
All right, Gerard, wine number 2 from the Southern Rhone in France. This can be made from as many as 13 grapes, because in the Southern Rhone,
there's a lot of red wine.
well, next to Châteauneuf-du-Pape, you're allowed to put up to 13 grape varietals into the one wine. But usually it's Mourvèdre, Grenache, Syrah. That's the typical blend, and this is it. This is the typical blend. This hasn't got Cinsault in, like the other. It hasn't got Pinot Noir in. Now,
let's have a let's swirl it around, and what are we getting? I don't think there's much.
The nose is less, isn't it?
No, it is less. No. Well, let's do the taste test then, John.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Lovely, but is it as good as? No, I don't think it's as.
You're getting those tannins, aren't you? You see that finish, the tannins?
Yeah.
That's the. There's more skin contact, or what's been bled out of those skins, because they're made exactly the same way, has been more of those tannins we associate with red wine. And in fact, actually, the wines from Tavel are known to be the most robust and most like a red wine of all the French rosés. So we are talking about a really big rosé.
Are you going to put your neck out here, John, and say which is the best? New Zealand or France?
No, I wouldn't go so far. I'd be at this stage looking at the person at the table and trying to get the right response to them. Okay. In other words, if it was a lighter food, the New Zealand one is going to go much better. It's a little sweeter. It's a little crisper.
I think that's why
and it's actually got more, loads more fruit flavour. The French one, you can see from just your swirling of the glass, the legs on the glass are much heavier, more weighty altogether. And that's what it is. It's a very heavy wine, almost akin to a red wine.
Two beautiful wines, John. Now you have to have a lovely meal, of course. And you're at one of the most fabulous restaurants in Auckland, Prohibition. So what could our viewers, could we say, what about having a little competition and coming in and having a wonderful meal at Prohibition with a glass of wine like this?
Let's do that. Let's put a meal there for 2 people.
A nice romantic night.
Yes, and with me looking after them and engaging them in some wine.
Oh, wouldn't that be
on
wonderful?
The house, please. Yes, great idea.
Now, they can email Gerard at The Beat Goes On.
Yes.
Gerard at The Beat Goes On, and they have to answer a simple question. What is the street address of Prohibition?
Wonderful.
That's so easy, isn't it? They just have to look up the street address of Prohibition Restaurant. Well, we will tell you this. It's in Ponsonby.
You're going to get a lot of emails, Gerard.
It's as simple as that. Tell us the street number of Prohibition, and John and I will pick from all the emails that come in, and we'll pick a winner, and they'll have a wonderful night out at Prohibition Restaurant.
I'll honour that.
John, it's been wonderful having you here.
Thank you, Gerard.
Trying these beautiful wines, and we'll see you in about 6 weeks' time.
Excellent.
Okay, thanks, John.
It's been a pleasure.